Yeah.
Okay. So today we are all here for SQL session. This session will be covering the basic concepts of SQL. What is SQL and why it's a useful tool for data manipulation. So let's begin. So here's the first slide. So SQL is people will call SQL as structured query language. Others call it as SQL. So it's nothing. It's not a programming language. Actually, it's a query language. It's very simple to learn, and you can say exactly simpler to master as well. So again here, so what does it do? So it is used for storing, manipulating, and retrieving stored data in a relational database. So what is a relational database? Let's come to the query structure in the W3 school. One second. So here if we see, so relational database is like the data is stored into different tables, and but these tables can be combined or manipulated to derive the data from multiple tables at once at the will of the user. So that is how this database works. So let me show you. So here we have different tables. You can see in the right hand side corner. So we have customers table, which have so I've opened the customers table, which has got a structure similar to an Excel file. So this has got data like customer ID, customer name, contact name, address, city, postal code, country, and so on. And so I have other details like categories, orders, and so if I click on or if I just extract the order table, so here see I have order ID, order detail ID, order ID, and product ID and quantity. And when I check the orders table, so I have order ID and customer ID. So customer ID, you guys might have observed that we had customer ID in the customers table and we have customers ID in the order table. Why is that so? Because we do not want to clog the data at one place and make n number of columns in one table. So we would better have the data split across multiple tables for easy viewing purpose. And whenever we want some other columns, we can have it. So if I want to view the order details made by the customer, order details of the order made by customer, I can simply join these two tables with the help of the common key, that is customer ID, and I can have the data. So that is how the relational database part works. And let's come back to the slide. So it's a standard, SQL is a standard language, as I already told you about the relational database management system, or RDBMS. And so what can we do with SQL? We can execute queries against a database. That is a standard function which we all will use SQL for. And apart from that, we can also perform CRUD functions, which is you can say an acronym for create, read, update, and delete. So we can create new databases, new tables in a database, and records in a database, as in a tables in a records in a database. By records in a database, I mean we can create or add records in an existing table or a new table. Read only is retrieve data from a database. So mostly when we run a select query, select star from database, that is just reading a database or reading a table in an SQL database. So update will help you in updating records in a database. For example, if we have a table and we want to update values in one of the column in a table, so we can do that using an update statement. And then there is delete. Delete is used to delete the records in a database. And in our past 2 years of using SQL, we have never used delete. So even we do not know much why it is used for, but we can surely use it to delete the databases as well as delete the tables. For deleting the records also we can use it. Then the main question arises is why SQL? We, as an Excel user, we often wonder that if we are very proficient in using an Excel tool, why do we use SQL? So SQL, the reason we use it is because it's very easy to manipulate the data when it comes to relational database. So when the data is spread across multiple tables and it needs to be accessed, it is comparatively easier when you compare it with a tool like Excel. It's comparatively easier to use SQL, and why you will figure out when you start using it. It saves users a good amount of time, especially when the data quantum is enormous. And trust me, by the experience, I'm saying that it's seriously a very time-saving tool when you're dealing with a huge quantum of data, especially when you guys are dealing with your category master tables, which are usually having more than 20 to 30 lakh rows. So it's an ideal tool which you can use. We cannot rely on a tool like an Excel here. So Excel user will find it very helpful for big data sets. And the best part of the SQL is it's very easy to understand. And of course, it's easy to understand and easy to master as well. So do you guys have any questions for me till this slide?
No, not yet.
Okay, so can we proceed, or if you guys have any questions, you can think it through and ask me. We'll come to the
Till
query
here
part.
we are okay. Till here
Okay.
we are okay.
Okay. No problem. So we'll continue with the next slide. SQL Server database and tables. Here, just this is my this is not a standard definition what an SQL Server is, but so what is a server? So think of SQL Server as a powerful computer which can be simultaneously used by multiple users. As we all know that a personal computer can be used by only one person at a time, but an SQL Server, many people can simultaneously work on the server, and which very ease and comfort without interrupting the workflow of the other team member. We all can work very well with an SQL server on the same server. Then database, think of database as a folder in a computer. So whenever you have accessing your computer, you may be having a different folder sections. Like one may be related to work, other may be related to your personal stuff, or even if you are accessing your work folder, you may be having some subfolders related to a particular task or an activity which you may have performed. So that's how a database it is. It's just nothing but a folder which again houses many tables. Each database contains of multiple tables. So the mostly in our work routine, the mostly we will be using India Snapshot database, as most of our work is our tables are located in India Snapshot database. So tables are nothing but the structure of the table is similar to an Excel file. So you can think that tables are Excel file stored in a folder called database, and those folders are housed in a server in a computer, which usually has some distinguished alphabetic, numeric name, like a sort of a gateway name, like 172.29.64.26. This is sort of a server gateway. So any questions for me? Okay, I'll switch to the next slide. So the common syntaxes in SQL. So here are the common syntaxes which we use in SQL. It is one of the mostly used statement is select. So 90% of the time I use only the select statement. So select, what it does, it extracts the data from a SQL table, and the other statement is update. So update, as I already said earlier in the previous slide, that it can be used to update, do updates or update a set of column or column value in an SQL table. So here is a different one, insert into. So insert into inserts new data in an existing table or new data in a regular new table. So you can use insert to do that. So update and insert, of course, are different. And we'll see in the coming slides or in the upcoming sessions that why these are different. But now I can tell you only that update is used. So in order to update, you need to have a common key. But inserting may need not have any common key. Like you guys saw the previous two tables called customers, wherein you had customer ID common, wherein the orders table was also having a customer ID. So you need a common key to use an update function, but you don't need a common key to use an insert into function. So that's there. Then the other one is alter table. So alter table is used to modify the attributes or modify the attributes of columns in an SQL table. So by saying that, what I mean is, for example, if I have a column uh, which has a particular length structure, that it can house only 100 characters or 200 characters. So for example, if I have a name column, okay, so in the name column, if I keep the length limited to 10, or so let's say if I keep it to 6, so the people who have attended here, so out of all the people, I guess Vandana will, her name will be truncated after the 6 characters. If I keep the column limit to 6, because her name, first name is of 7 characters. So for that, to accommodate a name, what we have to do is we have to ensure that more number of names of more than 6 characters can be included in the table. So we have to modify that column structure or that column data type. We will be exploring data types in the upcoming slide. So alter table can do that. Alter table can also add another, if you need to add more columns to your existing table, or if you need to add an index to an existing table, index also will be exploring later. So all that you can do using an alter table statement. And create table is a statement where you use if you want to create a new table. So that's these are the most commonly used syntaxes or statements which you will be using, and mostly you will be using the select statement only. So before we move to the slide number 8, which is of 7, which is of data types, any of you have any questions for me?
Yes, Mohit. When we use this update query, so for
Mhm.
example, in the orders detail table, we have order ID, correct? And also in the orders, we have order ID. Both are related to each other.
Correct.
So if we update the order ID in the order details table, so will it get automatically updated in the that
Yes,
order table
yes,
also?
it will. But see, these things are auto. See, in Vishal, it's Vishal, na?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, sir. So Vishal, so it will automatically get updated, but for that, those functions, na, they are called automation. They're more into automation and triggers. So
Okay.
we are not actually very much aware about these functions. Automatically you can do, but you can also manually update these tables using an update
Update
statement.
query. Yeah.
If that is what you mean, yes, we can very well do that. And we can also do it using the other features of Excel, that is most popular features of Excel, which are joins. So we can
Join.
also do that. Update in particular is used. I will tell you a use case scenario here, Vishal. For example, if you have a table wherein a particular column, let's say I have a table where I have customer ID, okay,
Yes.
but I do not have customer name here.
Okay.
I've got customer name, which is filled with values. So what do I do for the for the cases where I don't where the values are not there with in the table. So for those update query, if you have a reference table with you, so what the update thing will do, you can trigger that, you can mark in your query that you wish to only update the customer name column where the customer name column is null or is blank. So it
Okay.
will update only those and it will not touch the other ones. So
Okay.
for those specific use cases, you can use an update column. And for others, where you can use joins, we will be exploring more. First, we'll be exploring joins, and update we'll be exploring in the probably after a few 2 to 3 sessions. We'll be coming up to update and subqueries and others. But first, we'll have to ensure that we all are very much accustomed to the all the concepts, basic concepts of the
Yeah.
SQL. So
Yeah.
for that, I would suggest you that you first stick to joins and then you progress to update and other statements, and which I'm very sure that every person attending today will be well versed with the tool if we practice. I'm sure in a month or two you all will be very well versed with the tool. So update is that so update has got that use case wherein you can, so update also has a challenge that as I told you that we need to have a particular this key with us, so which is a common key. So that is the only criteria that update needs, and update can work on multiple columns. You can update multiple columns at once. So basically it may sound that update, insert into, and joins, they are similar but they are not, and they all have some use case applications which we will be discussing later on. So can we move on to the data types?
Yes.
I
Okay,
wanted
thanks.
to know that we can use multiple syntax in one line, or it should
Yes,
go.
we can see SQL is like a, so it's like a canvas. So SQL tab Vandana is like a canvas. You can, so what an artist does is he paints anything he wants. He expresses his soul out in a canvas. Similar, in a similar manner, you can write multiple statements, like multiple statements. You can write subqueries that query inside of a query, or you can perform multiple joins. You can perform multiple where conditions. So it's up to you how refined you want to make your search. Because see, when you are accessing a table, accessing an entire table is like diving into an ocean of uh, you can say unlimited possibilities. We won't be doing that. So we want our searches or our data to be very precise. To make that, of course, we can do that, Vandana. It's a very good question. I'm glad you brought it up. So we can do anything we want. So once we are very well versed with the language, we can modify our query. And so if we want all the we don't want to do any of the operations or any of the filtration part in an Excel, we can very well do it in an SQL query itself, so that once you run the query, the data which you extract in an output is you can say at most it's around 80 to 90% precise, and only 10% effort needs to be put on in the manual filtration. So we can very well do it. So any other questions, or we can, so I hope Vandana, I have answered your question properly.
Yes.
Okay, thanks a lot. So can we move to data type?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Or any
Yes.
other like any, so see, once we are clear with the data type, and once we um, proceed with the other slides like select, where clause, and other operators, the curiosity which you guys have related to the structure of a query, it will clear up. So we'll move to the data types. So data types are nothing but variables. Uh, so variables are what? For example, there's a table which you make. So let's say I want this to be an interactive session. So I'll do one thing. I'll just give you a scenario and you guys tell me what kind of data is an ideal for this particular uh, data type or a column. So let's say, so if I make a column called name, so what sort of data I want it? So I want a text, I want a numeric data, or I want a date format data.
It should be text.
Correct. So if I have a column called date of birth, so what kind of data will I be looking into?
Numeric.
Numeric.
No.
It should be date, right?
Yes, correct. The format should be date in that case. And for example, something like some figures like daily achievement or daily targets or achievement. So what kind of data am I looking at?
Numeric.
Numeric. Perfect. So similarly, you guys are by this I can presume that you guys are very well accustomed to the types of data, and you can very well classify your data types of your columns which you will be inserting in your table or in your structure. So why is the data type used? So in order to ensure that the value structure of the columns in a table remains standard and uncompromised, users should declare variable at the time of table creation or column addition. So here are the most commonly used data types. So first one is character and variable character. So character and variable character, nothing but they're one and the same. They both can house alphabet, special characters, and letters. But character can house only 55. So characters can have only 250 up to 255 characters, and varchar can allow up to 65,000 characters. So basically, depending on your need, you can use char or varchar data types. This column, if you see this particular shaded portion, which is the open and closing brackets. So you have to insert your numeric data. For example, if you want to you want your column to house only 7 characters or 10 characters, you have to enter your threshold here. So once you do it, so now if I do it, so my column will not allow any data which is more than 100. So it will accept the data, but it will truncate the values after length 100. For example, let's say I try to insert a company name whose length is greater than 100. So what it will do, it will insert it, very well insert it, but it will keep only the company name till 100 characters. And anything which goes beyond 100, it will automatically get truncated. That is, it will automatically get ignored by the system. So the character and varchar are this. So another for integer, if we want to
Mohit, I have one query regarding this. What if we don't put new numbers like 100 and so on? So
see,
it will accept all the characters, right?
no, we can. So for that, we have other data types like text, medium text, and long text. Okay, so we can use that. So in this particular, so we in these three data types, we don't need to add a numeric this value that how many characters you want, because these all come up with a predefined value. Even these come with a predefined value, but these come with a predefined upper bound values. So for example, if char is having an upper bound value of 255, that means it can house up to 255 values. So you cannot write 256 in a character. You can write up to 255 only. But why I will tell you from the perspective of writing the queries or making columns, I would tell you that using variable character is much more easier, or not easier, you can say much more convenient when it comes to firing queries, because when you fire a query on a text or a medium text or long text data types, the query usually takes a little longer time.
Okay.
So using a variable, so of course, Hitesh, we may not be very accurate, but we can. It's safe to presume that you can give a very you can give it a benefit of doubt, and you can use upper bound value also. So, for example, if you know a name contains usually not less than 10 characters, so to give for a safer side, you can set the threshold to 20. It won't matter.
Yeah, but it is mandatory to put the values, right?
If you're using character where tiny int, any integer or character, you if you're using these two data types, yes, you need to, else there's no need to put.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so again, for integer we have these different data types with us. Tiny int can is around 4 to 5 character long. Small int is around 6-7 characters long. I'm not very sure about it. You can explore it here. For our need, which is basically for defining the national character, which is usually 8 characters long, we can define int along with 8 in the bracket. So that will, so any uh, so but integer part, integer, so there is one more thing. So if you use a variable character as your data type and you're trying to insert an integer, do you think it will allow?
No, no, it won't allow me.
No, it will. See, I have written here, it accepts alpha, sorry, I'm very sorry, it accepts numbers. Sorry. So it accepts numbers, alphabets, and special characters. So variable character will allow everything. Text will allow everything. But if your data type is an integer, any sort of an integer, be it tiny int, big int, small int, medium int, or int. So if you use any of these data types, you will not be permitted to add any alphabetical values or any special characters. So if you try to do it, so those, again, you cannot truncate the system will not truncate the data. The system in turn will turn the data which you try to insert into null. Okay, so that you guys will have to keep in mind whenever you are using a data type, so that, because the whole idea behind this is to ensure that the structure as well as the data type in the table structure are of the same standard. So that is why this has happened. So depending on your need, like how big is your integral data, you can select from these different types, that is tiny int, small int, medium int, or big int. So this is so far the data type till integer and character. This is when you have a need of entering a data in a date format. So for date format we have date, which will have the date format data type, which will contain a year, month, and date. And date time will contain same date as well as the time column. Timestamp is like whenever we use a now function on an Excel, time is similar to that. Timestamp is similar to that. So, and again, time is only the time value. Currently, it's 16:08. So the time will be 16:08 if we use the time. And year can house only the year. For especially if you're maintaining a date of birth, you can use the date, I think. Or if you want to use the year of joining or something like that, you can use the year. So this is how you can think of what your data type is will be as per your need. Secondly, text, medium text, and long text are the other data types which we use, but we use them very less. So the main application for this is to house big data. For example, if we check our tables, Sagar, can you put our table? See. So here we have a table. Sagar, just show the structure of any table, especially the parent info table, if possible. The structure, I mean, this is the columnar values. Only the so this is how a parent info table is. So this is how the structure of the table is. The national guarantee is, so see, as you guys can see here, Hitesh, even your curiosity was what if we define the values if there is a need, and I told you can have a marginal value here. So see, national guarantee, as we all know, that it's not great, like it's never greater than 8 characters, but here we have marginally allowed it till 20 characters. So this means that we can house up to 20 characters in the national guarantee column, which will
Yes.
probably make our data absurd, but we can, as per the table structure, we can do that. And if you guys can see, there's a this column in particular, which you guys need mostly. See the parent lineage. If you see that data type of parent lineage is kept as text. Okay, so if you see, Sagar, show them how the value of parent lineage looks like. You see, this unstructured data like this, which is separated through something like slash or comma or something, such unorganized and unstructured data can be housed in a text data type. See, parent lineage. So it can house a bigger data with bigger values, and it can house, you can say, if you have a table called product, so you can have, if you have a product specification column where you have concatenated all the specifications of product and inserted into one column, you can very well use text to assign, you can assign text as the data type of that column. So these are the specific columns wherein we use text, big, medium text and long text. So there are more data types, but we particularly use these mostly. Especially we use variable character and integer, and to some extent we use long text whenever we are concatenating all the parent lineages against a particular national guarantee. Then we use long text. Apart from that, we have never used other data types. But if you guys want to explore, you can very well click here, and you will be routed to a W3 school page wherein there you will get a, yeah, here. So here you will get a complete insight into the different data types and what are the character set limitations and what all they can house. So for example, if we use variable character, it can house letters, numbers, and special characters. So letters, by letters, it's meant as numeric characters, letters as in alphabets, numeric characters, and special characters. It can house. And it has got a threshold of around 65,000 values. So here is the select. So the first and the mostly used statement here is select statement in SQL. And it is the most powerful, mostly used statement in SQL, as it is used to view the contents of a particular table. So if you want to view the contents of a table, you have to use the select statement. So which goes like this: select asterisk from a table name. Sagar, like one second. Sagar, will you be able to continue post from here?
Okay.
So like, can you continue from here?
Yeah, I will continue.
Okay, okay.
So like Mohit said, we have select statement, right? Any select, we can do multiple things like extract. So all the columns we can see in the table. See here you can see. I can see all the data in the table of customers. Like customer ID, customer name, contact name, address, and all. If I want to see just a customer name, so I will just write over here customer name in that particular table.
Customer spelling is not proper.
Yeah.
Sagar, this was this dummy table was with limited number of fields. ठीक है, अगर हमें हमारा टेबल काफी बड़ा है, ओके, तो मुझे जानना है कि उसमें फील्ड का नाम कौन सी फील्ड को क्या कहा जाता है, तो तब हम क्या
मतलब उसका
लिखेंगे?
इंडेक्स क्या है? हाँ, वो हेडर।
हाँ, उसके हेडर्स क्या है?
लाइक समझा नहीं।
देखो जैसे अभी हाँ देख, हम सब लोग जो करेंगे वो कैटेगरी मास्टर पे ही काम करेंगे ज्यादा, ठीक है? तो अब कैटेगरी मास्टर में जितनी फील्ड्स है, वो फील्ड्स फ्रंट एंड में जेडी ट्री में उनका नाम अलग है और पीछे जो उनको बैक स्टोर किया गया उनका नाम अलग है, ठीक है? मतलब यहाँ पे हम ब्लॉक फॉर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वन लाइन में बोल देते हैं, वहां पे शायद वो ब्लॉक अंडरस्कोर फॉर अंडरस्कोर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ऐसे होगा, ठीक है? तो एज अ न्यू ज्वाइनी, एज अ न्यू पर्सन वर्किंग ऑन दिस, मुझे पहले इंपॉर्टेंट होगा जानना कि ये फील्ड को क्या कहा जाता है, तो मैं उस हिसाब से लिख सकूं। तो अब मुझे यहाँ पे शो फील्ड्स कैसे आएगा? यहाँ पे मैंने सिलेक्ट फ्रॉम, आपने ये लिखा कस्टमर का टेबल का नाम, बट फर्स्ट आई वांट टू नो दैट व्हाट आर द फील्ड्स नेम इन द टेबल।
ओके, शो कॉलम्स, इसके लिए वी कैन डू लाइक शो कॉलम्स ऑन द टेबल from customer. Okay, I think
इसमें एस्ट्रिक नहीं डाला ना, तो शायद इसको वजह से हो रहा होगा।
नहीं, ऐसा एक्चुअली नहीं होता।
आप हमारे वाले, आप अपने में टेबल पे बता देना, कैटेगरी वाले टेबल पे, अगर
जैसे अभी लीनेज के लिए था, अभी लीनेज के लिए था नाम पेरेंट लीनेज, जबकि हम लोग तो नॉर्मल हम लोग तो उसको सिर्फ लीनेज बोलते हैं, तो वैसे इसके नाम क्या है?
ओके, तो मैं कैटेगरी मास्टर में दिखाता हूँ। आपको जानना है कि इसके अंदर के सारे जो फील्ड्स जानने हैं, जैसे कि
मतलब देखना, ये यूनिक आईडी, नेशनल कैट आईडी, कैटेगरी का नाम, ये सारी जो है इनके नाम क्या है, मतलब इस टेबल में क्या क्या फील्ड्स है, हमको पहले वो जानना है। देख मतलब ये मुझे ना सबसे पहले प्रॉब्लम यही होती है क्वेरी लिखने के लिए कि मुझे पता ही नहीं होता कि उसको कहाँ बोलते हैं, तो वो मैं लिख ही नहीं पाती क्योंकि मेरे को लिखना क्या, मतलब
वो तो कैसा होगा कि वो आपको मतलब वो एक्चुअली टेबल टू टेबल वेरी होगा। जैसे कि आपको ये जानना है कि उसके अंदर जीडी ट्री के उसके अंदर क्या नाम है, वो थोड़ा बैकएंड से पता करना पड़ेगा कि मतलब हर एक जो कॉलम नेम है उसको क्या मतलब आइडेंटिफिकेशन दिया हुआ है।
हाँ वो तो चल, जब देखो जो अपने एकदम छोटे छोटे वाले हैं वो अपने को रोज नहीं लगते हैं, once in a blue moon we come across that minute ones to use, but मतलब हाँ, तो मेरा सिर्फ इतना कंसर्न है कि मतलब ये मेरे लिए हर्डल है कि अगर मुझे वो फील्ड का नाम नहीं पता होता है ना, तो मैं आगे कुछ कर ही नहीं पाती। इसीलिए मैंने कहा कि आप पहले हमें फील्ड के नाम बता दो। तो मतलब
तो उसके लिए
फील्ड
हम
के
तो
नाम
वो
कैसे हम देख सकते हैं?
फील्ड के नाम तो ऐसे दिखे जाएगा, मतलब शो कॉलम्स करोगे तो उससे आपको सारे फील्ड के नाम पता चलेंगे। बट अभी वो फील्ड को क्या कहा जाता है वो बताने के लिए मतलब आपको प्रॉपर आइडेंटिफिकेशन देना पड़ेगा, मतलब मुझे बताना पड़ेगा आपको कि बीडेबल टाइप, मतलब वो आपको पता है कि वो बीडेबल होता है। बट जहाँ पे जैसे कि आपने बोला कि पेरेंट लीनेज जो है उसको आप ये बोलते हो, पेरेंट लीनेज ही बोलते हो, सॉरी पेरेंट बोलते हो।
हाँ, या लीनेज बोलते हैं सब, अपने हिसाब से
हाँ, या
उसको
लीनेज
बोलते हैं।
बोलते हैं। तो वो
हाँ,
वही बेसिकली, तो वो कैसे कि वो मुझे आपको फिर वैसा मैपिंग देना पड़ेगा।
वन
ओके,
सेकेंड इफ
तो हाँ
हेलो। सो
हाँ
ईयर नाउ आपका और पाटिल का जो क्वेश्चन है वो कैसा है कि करंटली कैसे आपको ये जो सागर ने बताया है, दिस विल टेल यू नेम ऑफ द कॉलम्स व्हिच आर देयर इन द टेबल इफ यू वांट टू हैव एन इनसाइट के कौन सा कॉलम का क्या मीनिंग है एंड ऑल। सो दैट फॉर दैट इवन वी हैव amassed that knowledge after years of using SQL. So it will be a little difficult for you. So what we currently do is whenever we use a table we just put a limit like this. Sagar, just kill the query. Put a limit put a small limit, Sagar. You know what we currently do is we take a limited data into an Excel, or just we traverse through the data in a table, and by traversing we come to know that business flag one. So we most of us are very much aware कि what business flag means and what business flag one value holds. तो ये सब ना उधर ही curiosity. पर देखो आप जैसे आपने बताया कि if you are stuck somewhere, if you need a column name के you need a data called brand. तो brand को क्या बोलते हैं? We know that it's called brand name, so you can connect with us. हाँ, but where the question arises कि brand अगर आपको check करना है कि where we have a column called brand, so that can be checked in two ways. One of the ways Sagar explained, and the other one is the describe function, where you type short of describe and followed by the table name. तो आपको आ जाएगा। और
अच्छा
सिमिलरली
मोहित, अभी ये सेम चीज अभी अभी जो आपने किया, ये सेम अभी सागर ने किया था शो डिटेल्स लिख के, तो मतलब ये एक ही चीज है।
ये एक ही चीज है तो यू कैन यूज शो कॉलम्स फ्रॉम।
ओके, आइदर हम शो डिटेल से ले या डिस्क्राइब से ले, बट आउटपुट उसका एक ही आएगा कि हमें कॉलम कौन से हैं वो टेबल के अंदर पता चलेगा।
बराबर एक ही आएगा। द रीजन उसने शो कॉलम्स फ्रॉम बताया बिकॉज शो कॉलम फ्रॉम जो है ना वो एक एक्सेप्टेड सिंटेक्स है अक्रॉस मल्टीपल। ये फॉर एग्जांपल अगर अभी अभी करंटली तो अभी हम लोग योग यूज कर रहे हैं, सो योग में यू कैन यूज DESC एंड शो कॉलम्स फ्रॉम। इन सम ऑफ द टूल्स DESC वर्क नहीं करता है। इन सम ऑफ द टूल्स जैसे ओरेकल है, ओरेकल में DESC भी वर्क करता है, डिस्क्राइब भी वर्क करता है फुल फॉर्म, एंड शो कॉलम्स फ्रॉम भी यूज कर सकता है। सो दैट इज द रीजन यू शो कॉलम्स फ्रॉम, बिकॉज दैट इज यू कैन से टर्मिनोलॉजिकली आप अगर ढूंढ रहे हो, जैसे मैंने बताया कि the best part is the syntax. So when you want to do the column, what you will be writing show columns from, and will be followed by the table. So it will be more easier to remember, and as you can say a universally accepted statement also.
ओके, ठीक है। अच्छा, अभी एक चीज जाननी थी, मतलब ये आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी ऑफ अदर्स विल एग्री टू मी। आप जो हमें बता रहे हो, सिखा रहे हो, क्या आप हमें कैटेगरी टेबल पे ही सिखा सकते हो?
हाँ जी सॉरी। So here, but if you are still like आपको फिर अगर थोड़ा clarity चाहिए, this is where you can view the column names. But if you have two similar columns and if you want to know which one is correct, then I would suggest we can get in touch with the table owners, which is Suman and Ratan, so they can guide us better. But mostly we know that most of the common values which we have been using in our day-to-day activities, we can very well guide you through the same. We can document the main columns which आप लोग को and we can share it with you guys. कि अगर
आपको नहीं, मतलब मेरा मैं क्या आपसे कहना चाह रही हूँ कि देख, रीजन फॉर आर एवरीवन अटेंडिंग दिस इज लाइक कि हम लोगों को जो छोटे छोटे डम्प्स भी होते हैं हमारे, वो आपके पास आना पड़ता है, तो वो एट द एंड हमें भी वेट करना पड़ता है, एंड इट इज क्रिएटिंग लाइक मोर वर्कलोड आल्सो ऑन यू। ठीक है। तो आप अगर हमें हमारे टेबल पे ही बताओगे कि हमारे कैटेगरी इन्फॉर्म के लिए क्या टेबल है, मतलब मैं क्या लिखूं तो मुझे बोथ बिजनेस फ्लैग वाली कैटेगरी आ जाएगी, मैं क्या लिखूं तो मुझे ऑल एरिया वाली कैटेगरी आ जाएगी। तो अगर हम टूल मतलब जो करना है वो यही टेबल पे कर सकते हैं क्या, rather than doing that W3 वाले टेबल पे?
That is fine. We can do it here. The whole idea of using the W3 school was because currently we do not have any. अभी आपके टीम में अगर आप देखो तो आप we do not have any tools जहाँ पे लोग प्रैक्टिस कर सके. So W3 school इसीलिए क्या कि अगर किसी को क्यूरियोसिटी है प्रैक्टिस करने की and he wants to stay you can say connect properly. Who wants to you can say brush up their queries or whatever they have learned so far, so they can use it. उनको किसी का रिलायंस का जरूरत नहीं, मतलब they cannot.
ओके ये तो हाँ जी, ये मेरा सजेशन था सिर्फ, बाकी सबका क्या ओपिनियन है वो लोग भी बता सकते हैं ना।
नहीं नहीं नहीं, एक्चुअली क्या होगा, इट विल बी इजियर फॉर अस टू अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम दिस टेबल, क्योंकि ये हमें रोज यूज करना है। तो अगर एग्जांपल्स भी इसी में से लेंगे तो हमें भी समझने के लिए आसानी होगा, और कुछ
ठीक है।
आपका जो कंसर्न है ना मोहित कि हम लोग प्रैक्टिस नहीं कर पाएंगे, उसको मतलब लाइक
यूनिवर्सल टेबल करें। ओके
ठीक है, चलेगा, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं।
बाकी दो विशाल, मनाली, हितेश।
ये कैटेगरी से ही बताना चाहिए।
करेक्ट,
मैं थोड़ा यूज कर रही हूँ इसलिए मुझे पता है, बट फिर भी।
अच्छा तो मोहित अब मैं आपको दो, हाँ सॉरी आपका हो गया हो तो मैं थोड़े सवाल पूछूं।
शेयर किया हुआ है, बट वो है ना, वो आपको W3 स्कूल से ही करके आपको देना है।
हाँ ठीक है, प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए हम लोग वो वाला टूल यूज कर सकते हैं, बट लाइक हमारे एग्जाम्पल लर्निंग के लिए आप ये रखे तो हमें थोड़ा प्रेफरेबल होगा।
हाँ हाँ श्योर श्योर, we'll switch to the अपना our table only.
ठीक है।
तू कंटिन्यू कर रहा है?
हाँ ठीक है। So select statement. So select statement is like is mostly used because whenever you want to view contents of a particular table, we can use it. So select asterisk from table name. So the asterisk here acts as a while character. We use it when we know we don't know which columns we are looking for. So one second. So for example, this is our table. So when I'm doing select asterisk from, so it will give me all records from my table. So now there's a filter on limit 1000. So that is why it's giving me, if I remove the filter, it will populate all the records. I will not be doing that because it's a very big table. And for example, if you're looking for only specific columns, like as we can see the first, in the first three columns, we have national category and category name. So if we want only the national category and the category name, so I will be writing the columns name here. But instead of a column name, I can simply write asterisk if I want to include all the columns in my search. And if we want to objectively look for a few columns, we will type the column names. So this is select, and select, we can also use select statement when if we have to have only the unique number of records. For example, let's explore the table again. For example, if you guys are just curious that there is a business flag column. So if you guys are curious how many different values are there in a business flag column, most of like all of us know that there are only 3 values in a business flag column. They are 1, 2, and 3. So if I do this, I'll be getting all these values. But I want only the unique ones. So I will just type another statement following my select statement, which is distinct. So distinct has given me these 4 values. I don't know where 0 has come from, but pretty much all other are standard 1, 2, and 3. So 1 is for B2B, 2 is for B2C, and 3 is for both. So that is how you can
What
extract
is 0, Mohit?
Yes.
0, I think the business flag is not updated in that category. Probably
Okay,
that
blank.
might be old
But
category.
could be
Yeah, blank
that
business flag.
could be out. So just so here we are clear. Like, are we clear how if we want to derive only a unique set of objects or unique set of values from a particular column, then we will be using distinct along with the select statement. So are we clear with the select part?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
So we'll proceed to the where clause. So here the where clauses. So where is, you can say, it is used to extract the records from a table when where a written condition is fulfilled. So where is like you type your condition in a where clause. So condition could be anything. Condition could be you want only the biddable categories. A condition could be you want only the B2B categories. Or condition could be you want a combination of biddable and B2B categories. So condition can be multiple, it can be single, it can apply to a single value or an array of values. We will all be discussing that in depth. So here, see, reason we use in the where clause is the most of the time we know what we are looking for. So that is why we use the reason. So for example, if I just use this.
I have a question. मतलब जब हमें मल्टीपल कंडीशन लगानी है, मतलब बिजनेस फ्लैग के साथ सर्च टाइप भी दे दो, सर्च टाइप के साथ बिडेबल भी दे दो, बिडेबल के साथ प्रोडक्ट सर्विस फ्लैग भी दे दो, तो तब हम वेयर लिखते हैं, राइट?
नहीं. So even if you are like you are typing one condition also ना, तभी भी आपको यूज करना पड़ेगा. So अगर आपको एक
मतलब मतलब पहले टेबल का नाम देने के बाद अपनी फील्ड्स का नाम, कौन सी फील्ड चाहिए वो देने के बाद हमें वेयर लिखना है, भले कुछ भी चाहिए हो.
पूनम, अगर तूने 2 मांगा है, सेलेक्ट में बिजनेस फ्लैग मांगा है, समझ तुझे B2B ही चाहिए, तो आई थिंक सो वहाँ 1 लिखना पड़ेगा, वेयर बिजनेस फ्लैग इज.
ओके, हाँ, सॉरी, हाँ, समझा, सॉरी, हाँ.
ये अभी जैसे let's see. So if I want, let's say, all columns from this table, I'll do this. But currently I want only I'm saying I want only categories which are B2B. So my condition would be business flag is my column name, and I want only B2B. So I will just write 1. So here I have all the categories which are B2B. Okay. And if I want to add more conditions, that I want B2B, and I want to filter only the biddable ones or the non-biddable ones per se. So I will write biddable type. So this is another operator we discussed now, and we'll be discussing that in the next slide also. So here the where clause is used whenever we want to write a condition in a query. So if you want to write 1 condition, 2 condition, or 10 condition, doesn't matter, but you will have to use where clause if you want to use a condition. And whenever that condition is met, only those results you will be getting. So not whenever those conditions are met, you will be getting those filtered entries. So you will, so you here, if you see that you have saved yourself a lot of effort which otherwise would have been applied post taking, if this data would have been in Excel format, so it would have been a wasted effort. You would have to extract the non-biddable ones, and you have to filter non-biddable ones as well as the B2B ones and take the data in another file. Here you can have all filtered in a query. So here, that is why we use where for. And so where clear? Can we move ahead?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, where is
Yes.
clear.
Yes.
I
Okay.
just have a small question, Mohit. Sorry,
Yes.
सॉरी वेयर में अगर मुझे 2-3 कॉलम के नाम चाहिए तो हम डाल सकते हैं ना?
Any number of columns, Poonam. So
Any
one,
number.
so
Okay.
where is you can say any condition if you want, you can use where and any number of conditions. अगर आपको आप बोलोगे कि मुझे एक कंडीशन डालनी है बट वेयर नहीं डालना, दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. बट एनी कंडीशन, अगर एक डालो, दो डालो, 5 डालो, आप नंबर ऑफ कंडीशंस आप डाल सकते हो. एंड यू कैन use multiple operators to make your search look more better or make your output a little better. So conditional operators we have here. So
ठीक है,
here we
ठीक है.
have the conditional operators and, or, and not. So
Mohit,
these
one
are
question. How do we separate the conditions? अगर मुझे
I'll
एक
explain it this.
okay,
I'll
okay.
explain.
Yeah.
So these as like even Poonam was curious and even Nitesh, you are curious that how do we add multiple conditions and keep separating these conditions. So these conditions, if you can see, there are three main conditional operators called and, or, not. So here if you can see, so here and operators, there's one second.
सागर
हाँ
पीपीटी तू शेयर कर रहा है ना?
हाँ हाँ
ये देखना, जो सेकंड वाला ऑपरेटर है देख, और वाला, उसका जो
हाँ
क्वेरी है उसके अंदर भी एक्चुअली एंड है, तो वहां पे और कर देना, चेंज करके.
ओके.
Hello. Yeah, sorry. So whenever we and, or, and, not operators. So and operator is used. And operator displays records where all the conditions separated by and are met. So as Hitesh, you asked what are the separators. So these are the separators and, or, and, not. So if you type a condition using an and operator, so it will filter the records where both conditions are met. Like here. So in this condition, if you check, we have business flag equals 1 and biddable types equals 0. So here both conditions are met, we got the output. Okay. So this is and. And so we can add more conditions also here. For example, if I want business flag 1, biddable type equals 0, and let's check this one. So JD Mart flag is not is 1, and JD Mart flag equals 1.
मतलब हमें जितने चाहिए बार बार एंड लगाता रहना पड़ेगा कि या कॉमा विल नॉट डू हियर, क्योंकि
अगर
एक बार हमने ऑलरेडी एंड लगा दिया तो फिर कॉमा विल नॉट हेल्प अस हियर.
हेलो. हाँ, अगर आपका ऑपरेटर, अगर आपके जो कॉलम्स है ना पूनम, इफ यू आर अप्लाइंग कंडीशन ऑन डिफरेंट कॉलम्स ना, तो आपको एंड ऑफ कोर्स लगाना पड़ेगा. बट अगर कॉलम एक है, समझो जैसे बिजनेस फ्लैग 1 है, ठीक है, अब आपको चाहिए बिजनेस फ्लैग 1 and 3 का डेटा, तो ये अगर आप ऐसे नहीं लिखोगे तो भी चलेगा, 1 और 3 सॉरी, अगर आपको 1 और 3 का चाहिए डेटा तो आप ऐसा नहीं लिखोगे तो भी चलेगा. देयर इज अ बेटर वे टू डू इट. तो अगर आपकी जो एंड कंडीशंस में कॉलम्स जो है पूनम वो डिफरेंट है, तो जितने डिफरेंट कंडीशंस है उतनी बार आपको वो ऑपरेटर डालना पड़ेगा, एंड या और जो भी आपको चाहिए.
ठीक है, हाँ समझा.
ठीक है, ओके. नाउ द सेकेंड ऑपरेटर इज और. सो और ऑपरेटर वर्क्स इन दिस वे. For example, if you put 2 conditions or 3 conditions or 4 conditions, if any of the condition is met, you get the data. So and में क्या था कि आपने एक फिल्टर लगाया, उस पे एक और फिल्टर लगाया, उस पे एक और थर्ड फिल्टर लगाया, और जो तीनों जहां पे तीनों कंडीशंस मेट हो गए आपको उतना डेटा आया. करेक्ट. बट और में ऐसा नहीं है. और में ऐसा है कि अगर आपने उसको और फिल्टर दिया, सो यू आर गिविंग हिम एन ऑप्शन के either give me 1 or 3. So you don't want to where business flag is 2 or 0, but you want the business flag values 1 and 3. So it will filter the data where any of the condition is true. So आप अगर देखोगे आपके डेटा में बिजनेस फ्लैग में 1 वाली वैल्यूज भी हैं, और यहाँ पे अवेलेबल विजिबल नहीं है, बट अगर हम डिस्टिंक्ट बिजनेस फ्लैग देखें तो देखो है हमारे पास वैल्यू. हाँ, okay. So and or is over. So now the other operator is not. So not operator displays the record where the condition specified is not true. So it's like a negative operator. One second. So basically there is a simpler way to write this condition. So that simpler way is like this. So if I'm giving business flag equals 1, yeah, business flag equals 3. So that is, I want everything apart from business flag 2. Okay. So where not business flag equals 2. So that will also pretty much give me the same data. If we are ignoring 0 value, so that will give us the same data. So for example, अगर आपको कुछ particular data चाहिए जिधर आपका जो exclusion list है वो छोटा है, तो आप not condition use कर सकते हो. So like everyone is clear with and or not?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So we'll for now we'll be moving with the last slide. One second. Here. So in operator. So in operator allows the user to search multiple values in a where clause. Okay. So here is how a user can use the in operator. So this is a syntax which you can use to write an in operator. For example, this is the same standard. Select column names from table where column name in value 1, value 2, 3 to n. So how do we write it? Once again. So here, if we take the, let's say I want the data or category names. Where my BFC flag is 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay. So I can use my AND operator also, sorry, OR operator also here. But by using an in operator, I can do it more in a more simpler fashion. Once again, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we have the data. we'll take the business BFC flag also, just to ensure that we have the correct data with us. So see, we have so there is around 5 lakh categories, and say let's say I need only the biddable ones. So we are down to around, once again, we are down to around 4,97,000 now, the biddable ones. So you can say in is like a substitute for or, where you are using an array or for an array of values. So using in is more simpler. So in will help you with that. And one more thing I would like to share with you. For example, if you want any sort of data for a particular set of national candidates, I would suggest you all download this tool in your computers. It's called Notepad++. Once again, let me demonstrate you how it will help. So let's say, one second. Sagar, can you help me switch to?
Wait. I have data over here.
Achha. So we have slash you'll have to use. So let's say if currently I have around how many values? Around
4,038.
4,000 values. So if I want to put them in a comma separated manner, so we can do it with Excel, but Excel we have a character set limitations. Currently it's 4,000, so we may be able to manage it. Probably we may not be able to manage it because Excel allows up to concatenation, or how Excel can house up to 32,000 characters only. So I guess this will not be possible in Excel, but we can do it using this tool. So here is how we will do it. We will paste all the national categories we need in this particular workbook and worksheet, sorry, and then I'll select all, Control H, and then I'll try to find /r/n, which is actually a short for new line. So, and every new line I will replace with quotes, comma quotes. So here I'll do it. I'll do replace all. So yeah, your data is in comma separated fashion. Similarly, if you want to break your data from comma separated fashion to a stack format, you can easily do it like this, slash. So in this time, the replacement thing will be quotes, comma quotes, and replace will be a new line, just /r/n. And if we do this, we are all back to the way the data was previously. One more thing I want to add up is, whenever you guys are using any, for example, if you're typing any condition in where, so, and if you are typing a condition based on a alphabetical value or string value per se, so for that you have to ensure that your value which you're doing, you like you're calling, that is inserted into quotes. Once again, like this. See, if there's no quotes here, but for example, if I want a category called, let's say, this and this. So if I want this, if I call this, I'll get an error. So I need to put the text in the quotes the similar way we used to do in Excel. So here we have the data values.
But Mohit, you haven't put quotes in numbers.
Because the numbers are readable to SQL without the quotes. You can very well do it without the with the quotes also. In case of numbers, I'll tell you. I'll show you 1 second. So here in my where condition, I'll put my PFC bifurcation flag in. So my condition was 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. So I can put these numbers in quotes and search. I'll get the output. And if I don't put them in the quotes, I'll get the output. So when it comes to an integer, it will be indifferent. So whether you put the code or whether you don't put the code, it will not make any difference to SQL. But whenever if it comes to text or variable character, yes, it will make a difference if we don't do that.
Okay.
That is what you guys need to ensure whenever you are. So this is this particular thing which Sagar just showed here. 1 second. Can we go back to that? Sorry. We were in the VNC. Sagar, just enter those national IDs in the where clause.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Just make them comma separated. And this
Comma separated.
don't put the quotes. Only put commas.
Okay.
So here we have the values and just copy them. No, you have to put a separator or you will have to okay, that also works. So everyone, there is a reason the query didn't work previously and it's working now is because so whenever we are running a query, we have to ensure that that query is separated. So how does the SQL understand what part is your query is? I have put two separator, query separator. So here the semicolon acts as a query separator. So if I put my cursor here and just press F9, so it will return me the values from the first selection, which is select all columns from from category master and only 10 columns. But if I put my cursor here and press an F9, I will be getting the results of the second query. So that is how the SQL differentiates that which query to run when. So for that, you have to ensure that you guys are putting a separator whenever you're running or writing a query. If not, then you have to just select your query. So if, for example, if I'm not running I've not written a separator here. And if I run a query now, F9, it gives me an error. But if I want to still run the query without adding a separator, I have to make sure I select my entire query and I do not miss on to anything. For example, if I miss the last bracket part and if I run, I again get an error. So I just ensure that I've selected the entire query and then pressed F9. Or you can use this also. When you are when you have your selection ready with you, so you can just click. So F9 is a shortcut key and you can click this also. Let's see. 9. Then I'll select. And then this. So this is the in operator. So in operator is very helpful when you want to extract an array of values in one go. So it helps a lot, especially when it comes to like extracting data of only particular thousands or tens of thousands of national care IDs or category names. This helps. So are we guys clear till this 11th slide, just in operator?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So do you guys have any question for me?
No.
No problem. So we'll wrap it up now, and there is a small problem set which we have prepared, and we would really appreciate if you guys can spare some time and practice that. You will not be needing any tools to practice, and as uh, we traversed only through one of the tables, which was customers from W3 school. So all the query scenarios which are asked there are from that particular table only. So if you can attempt it and share it with us before 6 tomorrow, it will really mean a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mohit.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Mohit, Sagar.
Bye. No problem.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Mohit and Sagar.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sagar.